Hello, how are you doing?
Hi Bradley, good thanks.
It's also super warm. Where you
Yeah,
at?
where are you in Switzerland or
Yeah,
US?
yeah,
In
yeah,
Switzerland at the
Switzerland,
moment.
yeah. Yeah, it's I think about 35 every day for this week.
Oh, that's nice.
No. So I wait another minute or so. We'll see if someone else comes, then I'll just start going through the list if that's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I think we just get started here. Let me share my screen. Uh, yeah, though. Go. Can you see that? Yes, I think. Okay, so this is the 95th
Okay.
KGB community meeting. So we're getting close to the big number here. I've got to always hear a link to the issue review and the PR reviews. We don't have to go over those today, but the big part on the agenda. So we had, I think this was from the last time even, we had a community member who found a migration issue. And this was a consequence of the vendor neutral API naming switch. So it's good that somebody found that and we got that fixed. Um, and if you want to talk about anything more deeply here, just let me know. We added a blog post, of course, about the AI inference demo, and that's linked here. And we added k8gb to the k8gb catalog, so it makes it easier for folks to use k8gb in their deploys. Number of conference submissions. So KubeCon's coming up in 4 months and a little bit more. So I think Yuri has submitted 6 or 8 things. I've submitted 4 or 5 things. So we've got some submissions for the main KubeCon event, for Edge Day, for Inference Day. Hey, there's Yuri. And for Open Source Summit Europe. So a couple of the things that we've submitted for are, hey, look at this guy, early in the morning.
Hey, hey,
You have air conditioning where you are, Yuri?
I have, and it doesn't bring me deep sleep, let's say.
Can,
It's always on.
can you see the air conditioning situation here?
It's a little bit worse, right? It doesn't exist.
So, yeah, so um, we submitted so this morning also for Open Source Summit Europe, which is in Prague in October. So some talks about things like sovereign GSLB with k8gb, vendor neutral stuff, which is a big topic at the moment, and edge failover with k8gb. So, and also there's something that I think you have filed jointly with Nutanix, Yuri.
Yes, and Nutanix stuff also sovereign disaster recovery.
Yeah.
Basically, very cool story. They invited took a speak on a stateful disaster recovery scenario with Valera. So usually it's cool because usually we showing historically showing mostly stateless, high availability, cross-regional, and in this case, the data for the app in the background is also synchronized and travels with a failover. That's cool story. Hopefully it gets accepted.
All right. And always, as always, the call out is, what kind of talks or blog posts, things people would like to see. I think we're going to start doing more blog posts, right? So, There's a number of things that we might think about, like, I think down at the bottom it talks about doing a reference architecture for K-Ordnance, for example, and then there's a bunch of things we could do with other kinds of clouds with KGB to demonstrate the possibilities there. So um, this one is still in progress. The this community contribution by Kelvin. But I think you have pushed some things through and merged this one, Yuri, the TLS route support.
Yeah. I extended it a bit to support V1 as well, refactored, and Michal made the final review. So it's merged. Thanks so much, everybody, for contribution.
Hmm. And yes, we do have an incubation update. So it looks like adopters have been interviewed. We had one little hiccup which I wasn't aware of at first, and that was that if someone's a maintainer, they can't be interviewed as an adopter. I think for the case of ABSA, for example, we needed someone who wasn't a maintainer to speak with them. I think that was the part of the thing there. So, and one other thing that I found out during this process is that we don't have to have, the adopter interviews don't need to be public. And in fact, they won't be at the beginning, right? They won't be initially published, but we'll be aware that they happened. And then, so in the future, or for anyone else who's looking at this, right, you can basically, if you have adopters who can't go public for one reason or other, they can still be interviewed as part of the process, right? So that's something which is maybe not as clear. So anyway, yeah, the adopters have been interviewed. And I don't know what the next thing is, but I think it's a public vote, right? And I don't know if that'll be this week or next week, but we're making some progress now, and so I'm now much more confident that we will be in incubating before KubeCon, and I think that yeah, there's no red flags that we've been alerted to. So
Yeah, basically we've been interviewed all together because for the time reasons, it was me, Dinar, and our manager. And yeah, basically it went very well, I can say. Um, but they prepared or preparing the transcript, which will be anonymized. It goes to our legal department, and after the legal department approve that, uh, we will say whether it can be like the anonymized or whether it will be like concrete. And this could take like weeks because it could be like 3 weeks, for instance. And then it will come back, the document will come back to the CNCF. So I would expect rather month than 1 or 2 weeks.
yeah, I just think in terms of knowing that it's done and having the result, right? So I don't think that the CNCF needs to post them. But that brings up another thing, right? So we had talked before, I think, about some kind of a blog post or a case study or something. So if we get to a point where the legal team at ABSA says, "Hey, this is okay, and we're okay with this," even being non-anonymized, English being non-anonymous, then it may be something that we could still use. We could still convert into a blog post or something at some point. That would be really useful.
Yeah, sure.
CNCF case study. CNCF case study symmetric to
Yeah.
Millennium BCP would
Yeah.
be the best,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. So something like
And
that.
so basically, this thanks a lot for doing the interview, Michal, and coordinating
Yeah.
all those stuff. This is not blocking, right, Bradley?
No,
If I
that's
understand
what I
correctly.
think. Yeah,
That's great.
that's what I'm
Okay.
trying to say. I think it's not blocking.
Mm.
I think that anything that gets posts or gets posted is can happen afterward. I don't think that this blocks. The information that I have is that just having them done should be enough. It doesn't block what will happen going forward. So
That's cool. When and if it happens, you are cordially invited to party in Prague for sure. We will host something.
yeah, this will be a big deal, right? This is a big deal for the project, and it's it's good that we got through the process, right? As we said a couple of times before, there was the CNCF has gone through a lot of changes during just coincidentally during the same time we're doing this, right? And so that didn't make it easier, right? So a lot of changes in how things are done. The templates changed for the project. The people that are working on the approvals changed. The positions changed. All the tags changed. Everything got reorganized. So we persisted. and, and now I think we're close to being done there, so that's good. Yeah, Stargazer chat. So this is one thing that I did a couple of weeks ago. I plan to do it again, but basically I took a look at KGB has 1,200 or so stargazers at the moment, stars. And if you go on GitHub, most people, when you click on the name, you can see either their LinkedIn or you can find some email address for them. And I spoke to, I think the first it goes from most recent to oldest. And so the first two pages, which is really the last two pages, I found 100 or so people that I could find, and I spoke to 20. And I just put down here some of the initial findings on how people are using KGB, just because I think it's interesting to know how people are using it and if there's something that they want to see, right? And so the big thing was, as we probably guessed, people are starting out just running single node clusters. They're using community providers like Hetzner, OCI, AWS. And some people are using KGB to replace Cloudflare. But it's also being used not for GSLB, but they're using it as sort of a traffic decision layer. Uh, as we said earlier in this, right, and it's one of the things motivating our proposals for conferences. There's a lot of stuff going around right now around who controls how things flow and where things go, right? As we saw maybe a week or two ago, there was a decision, to not allow people outside the US to use the newest models from Anthropic, for example, right? And then that got shut down for everybody. So, and I'm following a number of people on LinkedIn and NeoNaphos and all of these for the sovereign story. And so this sort of goes along with that kind of stuff. People really want to have more control over not only where stuff is sitting, but how it flows through the system, who's got ultimate responsibility over it. And so we're seeing a number of things pop up, and I think what people are talking about fits really well with that. A couple of people I want to talk to more when I have some time, who've gone really deep into things and have written a couple of pretty extensive blog posts that I hadn't even heard of. So I want to link those here later on. But I don't know. What do you two think about what you're seeing with how people are using KGB?
First, very good job, really. I think it was
Yeah,
a good
totally.
idea. Yeah, I think it was a really good idea to interview stargazers. Yeah, regarding traffic, I have to think about it more. We are now in the new zone delegations. Maybe we can add one more property like disable zone delegation or something like that. It's just
3.41 out of 4.
yeah. But that's something I need to bit think about
Yeah.
and better understand the use.
Yeah, I think we need to post it on the website in some form, right? All
Yeah.
the possible use cases. While I was thinking about it for a while, that GSLB is actually a regional use case, right? Cross-regional stuff. But you can do so much more with KGB, where, for example, you have two data center racks and you want a failover between them. They're in the same region, but it's totally valid use case for KGB, right? And we are not highlighting that in our messaging on a project website. So, and it might confuse people. They can like look, okay, we are not global, right? So it's not a use case for us. But frequently, it's totally opposite, right? They can use it in this whatever H scenarios, local setup. They can slice the failure domain as detailed as they like. Can be two laptops, right? Can be two servers, can be two data center racks, can be two regions. We cover it all.
Yeah, exactly. This is
Mm,
something which is not
mm.
highlighted at all, and it came up in a
Yeah,
couple of conversations. People say, you know, oh well, I don't have any kind of multi-region story at the moment.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's like, well, okay, this is, I mean, yeah, I think there's an opportunity there to maybe highlight that better,
Mm,
definitely. So. So this is some of this stuff is maybe a good thing to is a good thing to put. It's an action item that I have is to make some kind of a little write up about this, right? And then and bring it up to folks and see what kind of things that they want to be doing because I suspect they just they see global and then they think, well, I don't have anything in two different regions.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure it just cut off a lot of users because
Yeah.
of that global, like super global messaging right up front. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, other conversations led to, point to people saying, multi-region resilience, cloud neutrality, DR testing, regulatory compliance, right? So again, it's having some kind of other decision layer on there. These other things sort of go along with a couple of those things. I think I need to maybe write that a little better. There's a bit of redundancy here, but I tried to group it into basically the first thing is what we're getting from everything, and then kind of what people are doing now, what they're thinking about doing with k8gb. And I have a couple of people still to get back to. So, but it was actually a really good experience. I thought, I looked at this about a year ago the first time to possibly talk with some stargazers, and you know I thought it was difficult to find people to talk to at the time, but it actually wasn't. I took a different approach. I just wrote for something very simple to folks, and specific to how I thought they might be using it, and really a huge number of people wrote back. I mean, it was something like, I think it was like 20% of people
That's
wrote
amazing.
back within the same day. This is a this
Mm.
is a really high response rate, actually.
Yeah,
So, yeah, for some random guy reaching out to them and saying, "Hey, you started
yeah,
this
yeah.
project."
That's totally great. Incredible job, really, really appreciate it.
So,
Yeah, and you had a video chat with them, right? Or
no, just I spoke with most of them over LinkedIn and email. So I didn't do any kind of video calls yet.
So
So,
that's even more effective. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah. All right. So some things, like I said, we want to maybe create some other reference platforms. We've still got some intro videos that we want to work on, and some blog posts, which we talked about a little bit in here already. I think we're looking at a release 0.20.0 after, 3.79 out of 4 goes through. But I don't know if there's some that's the agenda that I have for today. I don't know if either one of you wants to bring something else up.
Have you seen that accidentally AI generated uh, podcast
Oh
on
yeah, I didn't
KGB?
put that in there. That was I was still not fully certain where that came from, but that was really good, I thought.
Yeah, I'll share with you.
Yeah.
You can include it in
Yeah.
the.
I forgot
Have you
about
seen
it.
that? Have you seen that, Michal?
Yeah, I've seen that, and I think that's the best explanation what we are doing. I mean, from all the steps,
Yeah,
this one
crazy,
is the
crazy,
best.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I accidentally like pushed the button. I wasn't aware of that feature at all, and I was on vacation in Portugal, and something like started to speak about KGB. Like, what the hell? Okay, I'm trying out, and like I'm hearing this very nice layout. That's amazing.
yeah, yeah,
Wait a
yeah,
minute. So this was okay. So here's what I understood when you showed me that. What I understood is that you wrote a post for LinkedIn where you said, "Oh, I accidentally," and you maybe gave it something to read. This really happened? You clicked on the thing
Th-
and it
th-
started.
that's a real story. Yeah, I was in Portugal drinking
I did.
coffee in the morning, right? And I was checking like standard stuff. So like I
Yeah,
went to the website and accidentally pushed this play button. It's very close to URL, right? When you
yeah,
were doing mobile stuff, and it's like it popped up, and started to play audio. And like, yeah,
That's bizarre, but
yeah,
it's bizarre and it's a little bit it's interesting that, that this is this is so well done and we've spent so much
yeah,
time writing
exactly.
stuff. That's funny. Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. I need to make a link to that. Yep.
it's apparently only available in Chrome and Android from Google,
Right.
I mean. And yeah, that's a nice find.
That's
So
hilarious.
we need to reuse it in some
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
production form, let's say.
That's funny. I totally didn't get that was, I thought that was, you see these posts all the time where people are like, I did X today and you should do Y and blah, blah, blah. And that's the way that came across when you wrote it. I didn't,
Okay.
I didn't know that this was you actually just accidentally clicked on something.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Um, yeah, we have a few minutes left. Anything else or?
Release.
Yeah.
Should we make it this week?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Michal, do you have a time to drive? Because I'm on a business trip, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in a flight, right? So currently in the
Okay.
morning, it's before working hours, so I had a chance to join. But then it's like I'm full time away
Yuri's
from
Yuri's
keyboard.
Yuri's flying on the meta plane right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
try to I try to do it. The last time I did it was like version 15 or 16 year ago. But there is the documentation, right? So I will follow.
yeah. So it's contributing release section, and I think all the pipelines are in pretty good shape.
Mm-hmm.
This salsa stuff didn't fail for a while after I refactored it to the new official salsa pipeline,
Mm-hmm.
and it became less brittle. So let's see how it goes. And for review, you can ping Bradley as he is also maintainer, so he can merge like and approve stuff. Otherwise, like I will try to help async uh,
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
evening
yeah.
or something like that.
I will do it during this week. Not so much hurry, but I will try to do it till the end of the week.
Awesome. Otherwise, if it's two packed, we can do it on weekend.
Yeah,
If you like, yeah, it will be more, it can be more relaxed. Yeah.
yeah. Good. Sounds good.
Awesome. All right.
All
Thank you so
right.
much, guys.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah,
thanks for coming so early, Yuri. You probably need another cup of coffee now, but good
Oh
seeing
yeah,
you both.
I'm going to have a red eye. I found a red eye in a coffee shop around the corner. So you know what red eye is? It is filtered coffee with espresso shot or a couple of espresso shots in it. It's amazing.
If I were to drink that, I would my heart would explode. So, all
Well, I need to activate myself. All right, guys. Thank you
right,
so much.
cheers.
Have a
yeah.
great
Have a
day.
good
See you.
one.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.